Welcome back, all you amazing yoga warriors. My name is Kara, and I will be here to guide you through a yin yoga sequence today. So, this is for all you tight warriors out there, myself included. We actually don't have that many poses today. We only have a few, but we're going to be hanging out in these poses for a little while. So, a minute, maybe even up to 3 minutes. So, we're going to go beyond the muscle and dive right into the fascia tissue. So, opening up the body a ton. You may want a block, never know. So, maybe just set it up next to your mat. Let's get started. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. We'll start with our knees really wide, big toes touching in the back, and you just want to settle your hips right in between your heels. From here, take a deep breath in. Exhale, rock those shoulders down and back. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, sit up a bit taller. And exhale. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, we'll start to walk our hands out, coming into a child's pose. So as you come down into your child's pose, I want you to just walk your hands out really far and then start to press your hips back and down towards your heels. So you're creating length along the side of your body. And just continue with that Ujjayi breath. We're going to be here for approximately 1 minute. So keep stretching the fingers out far in front of you, lifting the elbows away from the mat, and then pressing firmly into the palms so that you can glide back towards the back of the mat. And maybe you go ahead and start to soften the eyes. And just relax the muscles through the face. Maybe you even lower your forehead down onto the earth and rock it from side to side, just releasing any tension through the forehead and the third eye area. And then start to soften the stomach muscles as you pull the outer shoulders down towards the mat. And then just start to find a rhythm of breath that works for you, something that you can maintain for the rest of this practice. And we're going to move really slow. And let's take 2 more breaths here. Biggest breath yet. All right, inhale, walk the hands back towards you as you lift your chest. And then exhale, just bring your hands back behind you. So now we opened up the back body, we want to open up the front body. So right here, just making sure that those hips are right in between the heels. Your tailbone is facing the front edge of the mat, and then your hands are just back behind you. So now you can start to roll your shoulder blades back, and I know we're coming into a giant stretch right here, into this full hero right in the beginning, but don't worry, you don't need to go all the way down onto your back, and we'll be here for a little while, so you'll have plenty of time to kind of find your groove here. And just making sure that the knees feel okay. You can also take your block, place it right underneath your tailbone, and then just start to lift your chest a little bit here as you open up through the heart. Now, if it's in your practice and you'd like to go a bit further, you can always start to come down onto the forearms. Palms are facing down. But again, you want to open the chest. So if you're here, maybe you start to drop your gaze back just a bit. And wherever you are, we'll stay for a few more rounds of breath. How convenient. I have a water bottle right underneath my head. So again, if you guys would like to use your block, you can always place it on the highest setting right underneath your head. And just land here. We'll take these last 2 breaths nice and slow. Wow, feel that front body open right up. Now you'll press into your palms wherever you are. Just slowly come up to seated. Okay, so the legs are going to stay wide. I know that they're getting a bit tired here. You're going to walk your hands out. And from here, right arm reaches out to the right side. Exhale, we're going to thread our child's pose. So right arm goes underneath the left arm, palm is facing up. Keep extending that left arm forward as you lower the right side of your face down onto the earth. And we'll take about 5 really slow breaths here. See if you can count for your inhale, a count of 5. Exhale, count of 6. Expanding the belly completely as you breathe in. Final 3 rounds of breath. See if you can reach those arms out a bit further. All right, carefully press into your left palm, and we'll start to pull our right arm out from underneath us, bring it back up to meet the left. We're going to go through the exact same thing on the other side. So go ahead and just bring your left arm out, breath in. Exhale, thread it through. Take your time getting here. You've got plenty of time to land. So we've got a lot going on here in this pose. And I want you to breathe into anything that might feel a bit stuck. So if there's an area in the spine, consciously send your breath there and try to soften. Maybe it's through the shoulders, the neck. You could be really feeling those quads right now. Last 3 rounds. And last breath. All right, you'll press into the right palm and unravel. Come all the way back out. Take a breath in here. Breath out, heavy those hips. Inhale, press yourself up into a tabletop. Take your time. Ooh, all right. Make sure that your hands are right underneath the shoulders, and we'll just swish the hips from side to side. Loosen it up. All right. From your tabletop, you'll take your right foot up in between your hands. So we're staying close to the ground the entire time. And then just go ahead, plant your palms, and slide that left leg back. So we're in a really low lunge here. You're pressing down through the top of the back foot. And then I want you to press down into the palm so you can press your hips forward and down. Now start to lift the chest slightly, and your gaze will go forward just in front of your mat. So we'll be holding this here for approximately 1 minute, about 6 really slow breaths. Maybe close your eyes. See if you can relax through the hips while maintaining integrity here through the entire pose. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Last one is always the biggest one. Okay, to come out of this, you'll press into the palms, slide your hips back nice and slow, and then bring your right leg to meet your left, and let's just move it back and forth. Carefully coming into the other side, you'll bring your left foot up in between the hands, closer to your left thumb, and then as you press into the palms, you can slide that right leg back. And you want to make sure that you're not pressing down into that back kneecap. You want to get the flesh that's right above the kneecap, okay? So as you press into your palms, you'll start to lift the chest. Gaze will go out. Hips go forward and down. Let's take it slow. We're almost done. Calm the mind. Relax the body. Last 2. Okay, as we're coming out, we press into the palms, hip shift back, leg goes back. And let's wiggle those hips out. Ooh, that actually feels really good. Okay, so we're landing in our neutral spine tabletop, fingers spreading super wide. I call these pizza fingers. So as you spread your fingers really wide, it looks like you can slide a slice of pizza right in between them. And this foundation is really important. You want to make sure that you're always protecting your wrists, okay? So press down into the fingertips, start to press the mat away so that you can round through the spine and tuck your tailbone under, okay? From here, inhale, lift your gaze up. Drop your stomach muscles, pull your shoulder blades back as you look up. Exhale, round through the spine. Navel draws up and in as you press the mat away. Nice and slow. Inhale, pull your chest through. And we're going to be staying here in our cow pose for a few rounds of breath. All right, so making sure that you're pressing down through the tops of the feet. Shoulder blades are pulling back as much as they'll go, so you're opening up through the heart. And don't be afraid to let those stomach muscles hang low. You want to get as much of an arch here through the spine as you can. Last 2. All right, take a breath in here. Exhale, round through the spine. Find your cat pose. Chin goes towards the chest. We're staying here a couple rounds of breath. And see how much you can really exaggerate this arch through the spine as you lift the center of the spine up. Drawing the stomach muscles up and in. you can tuck your chin in just a bit more. I just realized I had a little bit more space I could move into here. Not sure if it was already there or if I created it. Either way, it feels nice. Let's take these last two. Inhale back to your neutral. Exhale, hips go back towards the heels. Now your gaze is forward. Very slow, I want you to roll your chest towards the front of the mat and then just come to land completely flat on the ground. Okay, once you get here, you'll bring your elbows right underneath the shoulders, palms facing down, and we're coming into a Sphinx Pose. I'm pretty sure you can guess why this is called the Sphinx Pose. But as you press down into the palms, I want you to lift the chest up, pull the ears away from the shoulders, and then start to pull the shoulders back in space. Okay? So I know it doesn't feel like too much right when you're coming into this, or maybe it does, but it does get a bit more intense. So as we're here, we firmly plant the tops of the feet down. Maybe you can even start to peel the knees up away from the floor. Each inhale, see if you can travel up a bit higher through the chest, creating more space through the front body. Three breaths. Last one. All right, option to lower your forehead down to the mat. Take a deep breath in and then exhale it out. Or just follow me and we'll come right into the next one. We're coming into seal. So you press down into your palms, lift those elbows away from the earth, and again, you're pulling those shoulder blades back. So you're lifting your chest really high here. Maybe your knees are lifted, maybe they're not. Totally up to you. But for that more intense stretch through the front body, you'll start to lift the knees, really engaging the quads here. Draw the stomach muscles in. See if you can find something to focus on right now. We call this your drishti. So something that's not moving. Something that helps you maintain your focus. Or maybe you're just drawing your awareness inward towards your third eye. Wherever you are, let's take 3 more breaths. Here we go, last one. Okay, lower down onto the forearms, release the knees, back down to the floor. And then bring your hands right underneath the shoulders and press yourself up into that tabletop. And again, we'll just wiggle the hips out side to side, or just move your body however it feels good while you're here. Take a few seconds to neutralize. And then once you're ready, you'll take your right knee up towards your right wrist. Ankle shifts over towards your left wrist. And then you come into your half pigeon. Okay, so half pigeon, there's a lot of different options here. So feel free to modify this however it feels good. Either your back leg is going to be directly back behind you. You can just peek over your left shoulder, make sure that it's straight. Otherwise, you can bring it out to the side. If you choose this option, make sure you're flexing your left foot to protect the knee joint. I cannot stress that enough. Okay? So wherever you are, I want you to lift your chest and then exhale. Walk your hands forward. Feel free to stack the hands, lower your forehead. Maybe you take that block. Maybe you walk the arms out, spin those palms to face up. And then relax the stomach muscles while you're here. So we're going to be here for a little bit. I really want to dive into the hip joints. Open up through the knee. Make sure that you're squaring your hips to the ground so that left hip is not rolling away from the mat. You're actually pulling it down towards it. And then from here, start to relax the muscles through the face. It goes a long way. You'll notice if you can bring a slight smile across your face, it will help loosen the rest of your body up. And if you don't believe me, go ahead, try it. And your challenge here is to stay as present as you can. And really what I mean by that is not focusing on anything that's outside of your mat. You can focus on your physical body, your mental state. Maybe there's a breeze. Maybe you shut down the eyes. Focus on your heart rate. Notice the fleeting thoughts as they come and go. Relax. So we're going pretty deep into this hip right here. Not sure if you guys noticed. We've got about 5 rounds of breath left. Slow it down even more if you can. One more. Inhale nice and slow. You'll start to walk your hands back as you lift your chest away from the ground. Exhale, shift your weight over onto your right hip. And we're going to open to a straddle. So facing the side of your mat here. And take a few seconds. If you need to assist your legs with your hands, go ahead and do so. I want you to flex your feet here as you sit up tall. And then exhale, point the toes. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. This time, inhale, flex. Exhale, just start to walk the hands out in front of you. Now, you don't need to reach too far. You're going to feel this through the hamstrings. You're going to feel this on the insides of the legs, no matter how far you walk your hands out. So maybe just finding a fixed point on the ground here. And then drawing a lot of your awareness towards that spot. Maybe you can bring your forearms down. Maybe it's the fingertips. Whichever you choose. We are not tucking our chin to our chest. We are lifting our chest up and pulling those shoulders back while we flex our feet. Close down the eyes. 5 or 6 rounds of breath here. And just remember, this is a yin yoga class, so This is very different from any other type of yoga class. Here, we enjoy the stillness, and if you don't enjoy it, that's also okay. But we learn to accept it. And we just try to relax, taking it one breath at a time. And notice, the longer you're here, maybe you can start to walk the hands out a little bit further. No pressure. Just play around. You're here anyway. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale, straighten out those arms, walk them back as you sit tall, nice and slow. Bring your attention towards the back of the mat, and then we'll shift into our half pigeon on our left side. So the right leg goes back or it comes out. Adjust this front leg however you like, whether the shin being parallel to the front of the mat, maybe the heel is in a bit closer if you're feeling a bit tight there through the hips. And once you look back, make sure that your leg is straight. You'll inhale, proud pigeon. Exhale, take your time as you come to land. And remember, that right hip never wants to go down towards the ground, so we have to coerce it down. So mindfully rolling that hip back down towards the earth so that maybe it can even make contact. Now, it might not, and that's okay. You may also have a block right underneath your hips here. That's also fine. Wherever you're feeling the stretch that's working for you, land and breathe. Let's go ahead and take 5 more rounds of breath. Check in with yourself. How you feeling? See if anything needs to be changed. And carefully go ahead and shift. Final breath. Inhale, gaze moves up, hands walk back. Slowly lift the chest, and again you're coming to face the side of the mat, back into that straddle position, but it would be a little bit different though this time. So hands out in front of you, we'll flex, breathe in, sit tall. Exhale, point. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. This time land as you exhale, toes pointed. Fingertips walk out. You'll breathe in, pull your chest forward. Exhale, chin goes down towards the chest. As you start to round through the spine a bit, maybe you'll notice you can even walk your hands out a little bit further. But again, you've got time. Play around. I want you to feel this through the spine and the tops of the legs. Maybe you even shift your gaze over to one side. And then shift over to the other. Make this pose your own. Four breaths left. Last breath here. Inhale, walk the hands back as you lift your chest, and then just relax through the feet, maybe even shake out through the ankles. Okay, so we're coming into a seated eagle here. You'll start by taking your left heel over towards your right glute muscle, and then taking your right leg right on top as you stack. So now you want that heel pulling towards the opposite glute, or just even towards the outer hip. Now, the direction you're heading, your goal here is to get the knees to stack one on top of the other. If that's not happening, don't worry about it, okay? Not a big deal. I want you to be able to feel a stretch right here on the outside of the hips. Then you sit up tall. Breathe in. Exhale, soften the shoulders. Draw the stomach muscles in. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, right arm goes underneath the left, so you're twist tying, and you're either going to grab onto the left thumb here, or bring the backs of the palms to touch. If your shoulders are a bit tight, go ahead, feel free to grab the tops of the shoulders. Whichever option you choose, you lift the elbows up in line with your chin, and then pull them forward so you can feel the stretch right around the spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower your elbows towards your top knee. Keep breathing. Now, if your elbows happen to go beyond the knees, that's also great. Just try to keep those sit bones glued down to the mat. All right, you're pulling your stomach muscles in the entire time, and I want you to breathe into the stretch through the back body. We've got 4 more. Keep twisting, squeezing, and then pulling them out. Last one. And just as slow as you came into this, you'll inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the elbows up. Exhale, release the arms. Go ahead, roll out the shoulders. All right, let's switch up the legs. So just bringing the right heel now towards the left glute as you stack that left leg on top. Notice any differences between the sides. I'm usually a little bit more stiff through my right side, so this side is actually a little bit easier for me. But once you get the knees as close as they'll go, you'll then sit up tall. Exhale, soften the shoulders. Inhale, stretch those arms high. Exhale, wrap that left arm right underneath. Twist high, same variation you did on the other side. Lift those elbows up, pull them out. Breath in. Exhale, fold, stomach muscles draw in tight. Chin's moving towards the chest. Let's take 4 deep breaths here. Inhale, bring those elbows up, pull the forearms forward. Exhale, relax the arms along the side body, and let's rock it out. Oh, that feels good. All right, you guys can stay here as long as you like. When you're ready, we'll be coming down onto our backs. We've got one more stretch here down on the mat before we come into that final pose, Shavasana. So go ahead, find your way down. And then inhale, stretch your arms up over your head. Exhale, soften. All right, right arm comes out to the right side. I want you to stack that left palm right on top of the right. Bring your right leg off to the right. And then maybe you can actually cross your left ankle over the right ankle. Now, if that is not okay or it's just not working, see how close you can bring the ankles to touch. All right, so you want to flex the feet here. And then make sure that that left hip is rolling down towards the ground so your entire back is pressing into the mat. Breathe it in. And stretch it out. Feel free to travel while you're here. Maybe you stretch out a bit further. You don't have to stay where you landed. Let's take 3 more. All right, carefully. Left arm goes back to neutral, left leg back to neutral. Right arm follows, left leg follows. Okay, breathe in, get long. Exhale to soften. Let's do the other side. I'm not sure if this tree is going to allow me to do this, but left arm goes out to the left, left leg goes out to the left, right arm stack it right inside that palm, and then cross the right ankle over the left. Roll your outer right hip down, and then reach. You're breathing up and down the length of the right side of your body. And try not to tense up here. Let's see how soft we can go. Inhale, get longer. Exhale, stretch it. I'm pretty sure this pose here is called as the banana because, well, for obvious reasons. But that's an easy way to remember this one. And this is a really great stretch to do right in the morning when you first get out of bed. It just helps kind of set your body up for the day. Let's take 2 more breaths. Okay. Right arm back to neutral. Right leg back to neutral. Left arm. Left leg. Inhale, long. Exhale, arms along the sides. Palms facing up. Feet wide. Toes drop. Eyes close. You will land here as relaxed as you can. Maybe you've even got a blanket. If you're not in a hot place like I am, you want to go ahead, pull it over your body. Maybe set a pillow up underneath your head. Just get comfortable here. Relaxing into all that space that you've created. Just letting everything go. It was truly an honor for me to be able to guide you guys today. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Stay here as long as you can. Namaste.